Ash from Super Videos, back with another video. We're finally back. I was pretty much out for like 5 days. I couldn't post anything. I was recovering from the Rona, but I'm finally back and ready to start pumping out videos. And I thought the best video to upload first is the reaction to Better Call Saul, the series finale, season 6, episode 13, which is called Saul Gone. I'm definitely super intrigued and excited to see what's gonna happen in the series finale, how the story is gonna wrap up, how Saul's story is gonna wrap up, and also what kind of potential tie-ins or crossovers, whatever you want to call it, we're gonna see when it comes to the Breaking Bad timeline or that universe. But with that said, I don't want to waste any more time. Let's just get into it. But before we do, as always, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's just get right into it. So we're starting with the color scene. Oh! That explains the teaser. Is it a flashback then? Looks like it. Mike and Saul in the desert. Wasn't expecting this flashback. Oh! We didn't see this.
Slow down. You're gonna make yourself sick.
You don't need that anymore, obviously. I love that he's not even gonna wash it. It's like, I just drank out of this. Who cares?
I say we take it, split it 50-50,
Oh!
take off.
It's not ours.
Could be.
Yeah, well, I know some people who would have a problem with that.
Them?
I do too.
Don't worry about them.
You should worry about them. You learned that the hard way.
First thing we do, take $6 million and build a time machine. Those people that you're worried about, they would never find us.
Where would you go first, huh? You look like a history buff, right? What, would you go to Civil War times or ancient Rome?
March 17th, 1984.
Why?
Day I took my first bribe.
Oh.
And then I'd go forward. There's some people I'd like to check on in 5 or 10 years. Make sure they're doing okay.
That's such a Mike response.
You.
It's easy.
Let's hear
May
it.
10, 1965.
Why?
That's the day Warren Buffett took over at Berkshire Hathaway. I figure got $1 million left from building the time machine, so I take my half and just stick it into Berkshire.
That's such a
Then I
Saul
go
response.
Back here, and I'm a billionaire.
Is there such a thing as a trillionaire?
That's it, buddy.
What else?
Nothing you change.
I'm sure he's gonna have a different response today. The final intro.
Mary, are you still there?
Yes, it's a little car, beige. I don't know the make. 64 E FT6. He's headed south towards Curtis. Oh, please get him.
She's pretty much everyone right now. We all want Saul to get some sort of repercussion for his actions. Either those cops were idiots or Saul's just too smart. And I think it's the first. At every corner there's a cop. You can't go anywhere. You're busted, finally. That's gross.
Hoover, max extract pressure, Pearl Model 60.
Oh, again, this ties into the teaser that we saw. Yep, everything lines up. shit. He's busted. He didn't even have time to call.
Hands, now.
There it is. He's finally arrested.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do.
Yep.
And so do I.
They know exactly who you are now. Is he gonna call Kim?
Just call the main office. The number is on the bulletin board, and let them know you're going to need a new manager.
Yeah, pretty much. I think this is where he finally kind of took in everything that happened. And he knows that this is the end for him. Is this Saul or Joker?
I need another phone call!
This is who he's gonna call?
Bill Oakley speaking.
You know who this is, right?
He knows.
Saul?
You got it, buddy.
What are you, what are you doing? You know I'm gonna have to report this call.
Whoa, calm down, Junior. The cops know all about the call. They're probably listening in. The fact is, I'm standing in the middle of a police station as we speak.
So they finally caught you.
Listen, this is your lucky
They finally
day.
did.
I am talking to Saul Goodman's new advisory council.
What?
Keep up, Bill. You hit the jackpot.
Advisory council?
This puts you on the map, amigo. Bang, bang! That's opportunity knocking. Get off your ass and answer the door. Okay, on your way to the airport,
Wait,
I need you to make some
hold on.
calls.
Even supposing hypothetically, I'd be willing to take this on.
Willing, Bill, this is a career maker. Get real, you're doing this.
The DA has a warehouse of evidence against you. I can't even begin
Yeah.
to imagine what the feds are sitting on.
No matter who your lawyer is, you are screwed. So I gotta ask, where do you see this ending?
That's the biggest
Where do I see
question.
that ending?
When is
with me
it
on top.
enough?
Like always.
It's never enough for Saul, though. That's the problem. And he did come. He looks different now. Who's that? Oh! Marie!
Not 5, not 10, but 27 predicate violations.
Federal conspiracy to manufacture and distribute a controlled
Not a
substance.
cameo I was
On this
expecting.
scale, life sentence, stat max.
Money laundering.
8 counts, 20 years each, 160 years, stat max.
Damn.
We'll argue for consecutive sentencing.
Accessory after the fact to multiple murders.
By our count, that's life plus
190.
life plus 190 years.
Shit.
All right. I'm willing to extend a one-time take it or leave it offer. Here's the headline. 30 years. Keep your nose clean, stay healthy. You have a shot at seeing daylight in your old age.
That's a great deal.
Listen, you've got Agent Schrader's widow back there. Why don't you invite her in?
Oh, wait
I
a
mean,
second.
you owe her that much, don't you?
Well, no, she can't be present at a plea negotiation. It's completely inappropriate.
She's already here. Both parties agree. It's fine, really.
What's Saul got planned now?
They tell me they found you in a garbage dumpster.
Pathetic, right? It does make sense.
My husband was the best man that I have ever known. He lived to help others. If somebody was in trouble, no matter the time, no matter the place, Hank Schrader would be there with a smile and a joke.
That's Hank for you.
He was kind, he was decent, he was strong. His partner, Steve Gomez, Steve and Blanca made a home that was warm and full of laughter. 3 children, 3 fatherless children. The good guys, they were shot dead and left in a hole in the desert. And you helped the two-faced, poisonous bastard behind it all. No matter what they do with you now, no matter where they put you or for how long, it will
not
never
enough.
be enough.
Not gonna lie, a pleasant surprise of a cameo and pretty solid dialogue right there.
2 years ago, a man came.
He's gonna
into
play the
my
victim
office.
card.
He said his name was Mayhew. He wanted one of my clients to lie under oath. He offered me money. I declined.
Any lawyer would. That night, as I was leaving my office, I was attacked. 2 men threw a sack over my head, they hog-tied me, and they drove me out into the desert. And when they pulled the hood off, I was kneeling in front of an open grave with a gun pointed at my head. That was my introduction to Walter White. From that moment on, there hasn't been a minute that I wasn't afraid. Yeah, I worked for him. I made a lot of money. But that's not why I did it. I did it because I knew what he would do to me if I refused.
Bunch of
Over
bullshit.
and over, I thought about going to the police. I even thought about talking to Agent Schrader. But I knew that Walter White would kill me wherever I was.
You can fool
And I was
people
right.
with that story who
You look it
haven't
up.
watched Better Call
October
Saul.
4th, 2009.
But not us.
They murdered 10 men inside 3 prisons in the space of 2 minutes. Knifed. Throats slashed. A man was burned alive. They even killed one of my colleagues, a lawyer. He was cooperating with the DEA. Mrs. Schrader, you are looking at a man who has lost everything. My profession, my family, my freedom. I have nobody. I have nothing.
And you think jurors are gonna buy that?
One.
They certainly are not going to buy that.
All I need is one.
That's something someone that's guilty would say.
You're not going to negotiate with this man. You're not.
Marie's face says they did.
When combined with the anticipated criminal history category of 1, results in an anticipated advisory sentencing guidelines range of 85
This is such
to
a
90
shit
months
show.
imprisonment, in addition
Not
to
even
any
gonna lie.
supervised release, fine, and restitution the court may impose.
Saul is definitely testing their patience right now.
During incarceration, defendant Goodman to receive 1 pint Bluebell mint chocolate chip ice cream every Friday for the duration.
Are you kidding? He's kidding.
Bluebell, mint chocolate chip, no substitutions.
Okay, that's it.
Hold on, I can oil everybody's locks.
No more games.
Now I got a sweetener. It's nothing I've talked about. New arena, primo stuff.
Go.
Inside story, previously unknown felony homicide. Concerns a prominent Albuquerque attorney who disappeared.
Howard,
believed
yeah.
to have killed himself.
Howard Hamlin?
You're talking about Howard Hamlin. That's your sweetener.
They know it
He's trying to sell us the
because
Hamlin
of
thing.
Kim.
He thought he really had something.
Sounds like you and your ex aren't talking on a regular basis.
Kim
They
the
are not.
DA's office last month. She spilled her guts about Howard Hamlin. On the record.
You got nothing left to sell. Last chance. Do we go to trial or do we have a deal?
Now you're gonna get ice cream
Yes.
on your deathbed.
Yes, we have a deal.
Let's get this in writing. Not a word changes.
Oh, another scene in color. What is this gonna be? Oh, is this where, yeah, the 2 of them, Walt and Saul, right before they get their new identity. Yeah.
Am I gonna be sorry if I ask what's going on?
I'm putting a stop to it.
Stop to what?
To what? Listen. Just listen.
That click?
The click. The flame
It's like the fly
is
thing
lighting,
all
and then
over again.
it keeps going out.
He's gonna
So it's
burn the
either-
place down.
Hey, you're a scientist, right? So I have a question. What would you do if you had a time machine?
Oh,
A time machine.
Yeah.
I'm actually
From a
interested
scientist's
to know
point of
Walt's
view,
response.
I mean, you can go backwards, forwards. Where would you go?
Meaningless question. Time machine. Look, time travel.
The kind of time travel that you're thinking of is a scientific impossibility. It would violate the second law of thermodynamics.
That is also such a Walt response to that question.
You are talking about regrets, so if you want to ask
Yes, exactly.
about regrets,
Just ask.
Ask about regrets.
Exactly.
And leave all this time traveling nonsense out of it.
Okay, regrets.
My regrets. When I was a graduate student, I started a company with some. At the time, I thought they were my friends. Our goal was to commercialize discoveries that I had made. At a certain point, I stepped away. I thought I was doing the gentlemanly thing. But
You shouldn't have stepped away. Yeah, that's a pretty good regret.
Artfully maneuvering me into leaving my own creation.
I have a better one though.
How could you never tell me about this? We could have done something with this. Wrongful termination, intellectual property theft, patent fraud. I mean,
Haven't thought of
sunk my
that.
teeth
Yeah,
into
they
this.
could have.
You'd have been the last lawyer I'd have gone to.
That's also facts.
Sure.
So what about you?
Yeah, what are your regrets?
Wait, I got one.
I hope you don't say the same answer.
You know what, never mind.
When I was 22, I pulled a slip and fall outside Marshall Fields. I did. And I was stupid and young, and I was trying to show off, so I hit the ice fast as I could. I biffed it so hard I heard a crack. Whew. Wasn't the ice, it was me. I actually hurt myself. I mean, my knee's never been the same.
That's your regret?
A slip and fall.
That's everyone's face right now.
So you were always like this?
Pretty much. Always slipping Jimmy. Not gonna lie, slightly disappointed with that final cameo. It felt flat, but maybe that was just me. Like the Marie cameo was better and had a lot more weight to it. This one felt like fan service in a way.
She confessed. What's the DA gonna do with it?
No witnesses, no physical evidence. If I had to guess, most likely they sit on it permanently.
Okay.
No,
Not okay.
Not for her. Her problem's not the DA.
What then?
Well, apparently Kim took her sworn and notarized statement and hand-delivered it to Hamlin's widow.
No.
Yes. She opened herself up to a civil suit. The widow can take her for everything she has and everything she's gonna have in perpetuity.
So is she suing?
He's like, I'm gonna jot this down.
I just remembered something that'll make their toes curl.
Okay. Thing that makes their toes curl is bound to jam Kim up if it involves her.
Oh, it involves her.
Oh, what is it gonna
Civil suit
be?
hanging over her head. You give the government more, maybe they bring the hammer down. What more are you gonna get? What's left?
You don't understand. It's really good ice cream.
Oh, actually, I'm here to see if I can volunteer. You want to volunteer? Yes? Can you answer a phone? Sure. Then there you go. Central Florida Legal Aid, how can I help you?
This sort of suits her in a way. And this lines up a little bit with my happy ending prediction for Kim. Unless they take this and go somewhere completely different with it.
I want to make it clear this call is completely unofficial.
All right.
I shouldn't even be talking to you. But considering everything, I think it's only right you know what's going on. You've seen the news?
I don't think so.
Your ex, Saul Goodman, he was arrested in Nebraska. He's been extradited to New Mexico.
When was this?
2 days ago. But that's not why I'm calling. He's giving testimony that affects you, personally.
He's throwing you under the bus.
What kind of testimony?
Kim is ready to slap the shit out of Saul. Such a Saul way to enter the courtroom. Why did it turn into a mafia thing all of a sudden? Is Skylar gonna be there too? Nope, just Marie. It would have been pretty awesome to see Walt Jr. and Skylar as well, maybe, here. I'm definitely intrigued to hear what that testimony is gonna be.
Defendant has requested to use the name Saul Goodman. So, it's United States versus Saul Goodman.
That's
Counsel,
insane.
please state your appearances.
Your Honor, I'd also like to note the presence of the victims who are here this morning. Marie Schrader and Blanca Gomez.
Oh, that's who she was? Okay.
William Oakley appearing as advisory counsel, Saul Goodman appearing on his own behalf. Good morning.
The defendant still wants to represent himself?
That's right, Your Honor.
Let's see how this is gonna go. You can't bullshit your way out of this, Saul.
Mr. Castellano, today we consider the sentence for a defendant who will be pleading guilty to multiple felonies, RICO offenses, money laundering, conspiracy, accessory after the fact to the murder of federal officers. And for these offenses, the government's
He's only
sentencing
getting,
recommendation
7 years.
is 7 years.
Your Honor, I can
That's
assure
a little
you my
fishy,
colleagues
isn't
and
it?
I gave every aspect of this recommendation careful consideration.
Help me understand. Has the defendant provided substantial assistance to the government?
Your Honor.
He has not.
Mr. Oakley, please advise your client to stay silent at this time.
Your Honor, with respect, Mr. Oakley is advisory counsel. I'm representing myself here today. If I may say
Saul
something
just
that I think will
never
help the court
wants to
fully
give up.
understand the situation.
Mr. Goodman, you are the beneficiary of the most generous sentencing recommendation I've seen in 22
Yeah, the
years
most
on the bench.
generous.
Any statement you make imperils that recommendation.
I'm very aware of that, Your Honor. If you'll allow me to speak, I think I can save the court's valuable time. 2 years ago, a man came into my office. He said his name was Mayhew. He wanted one of my clients to lie for him under oath. He offered me money. I refused.
Same
That
story.
night, as I was leaving my office, I was attacked. A bag was shoved over my head. I was hogtied. I was driven out into the desert. And when they pulled the hood off, I was kneeling in front of an open grave with a gun pointed at my head.
I mean, it's true, but
That was my introduction to
what's the
Walter
point?
White. I was terrified, but not for long. That night, I saw opportunity. I shot it. Big money. And I grabbed it.
Oh.
And I held it tight.
Now it
And
changed.
For the next 16 months, my every waking moment was spent building Walter White's drug empire.
Hold on, Mr. Goodman, stop right there. Consult Mr. Oakley before you say another word.
Your Honor, I believe the court deserves the whole truth.
You are contradicting your plea agreement's sworn factual basis.
No offense, Your Honor, but I think I know the law here better than you do.
Your Honor, we'd like to request a recess.
No, we do not need a recess.
Your Honor, we are satisfied for Mr. Goodman to continue.
Your Honor, I'd like to petition to withdraw from this case.
Denied.
Respectfully.
He's
No
like, get me
chance.
out of here.
Do you swear that the evidence you shall give to the court in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Oh, I lied to the government about Kim Wexler. I fed him a load of BS about her involvement in Howard Hamlin's murder. I just wanted her to come here today. I wanted her to hear this.
That's also such a Saul thing to do.
So yeah, I wasn't there when the meth was cooked. I wasn't there when it was sold. I didn't witness any of the murders, but I damn well knew it was happening. I was more than a willing participant. I was indispensable. I kept Walter White out of jail. I laundered his money, I lied for him, I conspired with him, and I made millions. If he hadn't walked into my office that day, Walter White would have been dead. or behind bars within a month. And Agent Schrader and Agent Gomez and a whole lot of other people would still be alive. Fact is, Walter White couldn't have done it without me.
Speculation?
Speculation? He's testifying to his own actions.
Your Honor,
How is that
he's describing
speculation?
events that would have transpired had he acted
I
differently.
have one more thing to say.
Sit down, Mr. Goodman.
Please, Your Honor.
Now.
Please.
Your
Will
Honor,
the
the
marshal
government
please
urges the
remove
court to
Mr.
allow Mr. Goodman
from
to
the
continue.
podium?
How is that not speculation?
She's confused. She's like,
All right,
who's defending who here?
It was.
Mr. Goodman, sit down and stay seated.
The name's McGill. I'm James McGill.
Now he's finally James McGill again.
That was not a confession. It was
Furthermore,
merely
Your Honor,
a
a
single
second
point of
additional
view
hearing is
in a
required.
What else would you
very
call that?
complex-
Oh, Chuck?
I was starting to worry.
My car conked out on the 40.
They're bringing everyone
Seattle
back.
Central
They
said
might
they
as well
might
bring
start carrying
Howard
the
back
Financial
too.
Times.
If you don't like where you're heading, there's no shame in going back and changing your path.
Oh, when have you ever changed your path?
That's a great point.
Hey, think on it.
We always end up having the same conversation, don't we?
Exactly.
Better call Saul. Right?
That's right. Better call Saul.
McGill.
What?
I'm McGill.
Give me that. You're Saul.
He's absolutely Saul. And he's telling his buddy.
Yeah. Better call Saul.
You know what's funny?
Better.
Now that
Call.
he wants to be known
Saul.
as James McGill, everyone knows him by Saul.
Saul.
So it's like a curse in a way.
Saul. Better call Saul. Better call Saul. Better call Saul.
Who's here to see him? Oh,
No
it's a
cops, please.
pleasant surprise.
Turns out my New Mexico bar card doesn't have an expiration date.
So she's a lawyer again. Just like old times. Yep, just like old times. It's like we're flashbacking to the first episode.
You had him down to 7 years.
Yep, that's impressive.
Yeah, I did.
What was it? Life plus 190 years? Something like that? Down to 7 years? That's crazy.
86 years.
So not 7 years?
With good behavior? Who knows?
Could be 7 years. Yeah, I definitely love that their stories came together again. She's getting the happy ending. He's getting the being punished for what he did ending. I like it. But they're still gonna be together at the end of the day. Yeah. Pretty cool shot. And that's the end of Better Call Saul. Alright, that was my reaction to Season 6, Episode 13, the series finale of Better Call Saul, which was called Saul Gone. This was a terrific episode, a very solid ending to a terrific kind of storyline that started in Breaking Bad, obviously. But the only kind of problem, or not even problem, but the only thing that I'm disappointed in is the Walt appearance. I'm underwhelmed. I thought that it was more fan service than, serving the plot of the story. Same with Chuck. That cameo also felt flat. Like they could have done a lot more with it, but they didn't really do too much with it. So I am a little underwhelmed and disappointed because of that. But overall, very solid episode. Absolutely loved it. And, I'm just really excited to see if there's anything else. I mean, yes, this is done, but will there be another kind of spin-off with Kim maybe, or maybe a movie sort of thing? So there's a lot of possibilities, but it's just a matter of whether they want it to be the end of this franchise or not. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed this reaction. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.